You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Facebook. How are you? You know what the name of that song was, Eric?
Nope.
Catholic Boys. And that's what we are. Bunch of Catholic boys. And Lewis, what are you?
I'm an A-positive Baptist. Blood type A-positive and a Baptist. That's what my dog tag said.
Well, great. Great. I don't know my blood type, so...
I'm amazed the amount of people I ask what their blood type was because I had...
Because you have to... It's a separate test, and sometimes the insurance doesn't cover it, so who's going to get it?
Well, I thought everybody knew because I had ill effects from the second COVID shot. And then I had read somewhere that it affects different blood types differently. And A-positive is one of those negative blood types.
Aha!
So I was trying to do a little survey and to see if that, if I could validate what I had read. And nobody knows their blood type, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know mine. Now, what's the one that they say is most resistant to the Rona?
I don't know that.
Or... something about Neanderthal blood. I don't know, but whatever. I think it's me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look at that Cro-Magnon forehead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got this ledge here. I think it might be true. I haven't had a cold in 3 years, so it's
but you don't know your blood type.
Paula says blood type O.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I might be O. I actually have a doctor's appointment this afternoon. I'm going to ask her, can we get a blood type test without paying for it?
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Addressing Gettysburg. We are talking about our Get Out of the Car tours once again. And this time, it's on May what? 15th.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks from this past Saturday.
Right. And this is coming out the week of the 3rd of May. So we will have, things like that. But we're going up on the 11th Corps line, a place that people maybe drive through, but I very rarely see people out and about exploring up there. I've only done it a couple times myself.
Yeah.
The name of the tour is, it's a quote, "I lost all my officers killed and wounded and most of my men. July 1st, 1863 brought the war to Gettysburg in a way only rumor had previously threatened. As the battle raged northwest and north of town, it was soon apparent to those living within the town that it would shortly surge past their doorsteps. Come with us. Come with us." As we explore the stand of the 11th Corps on July 1st, 1863, and examine some of the reasons for their subsequent forced retreat. So that's what we're going to do, and we're here with Lewis Trott once again. We're going to talk to him about what he's got in store for us. If you're watching on Facebook, we didn't solicit questions for this one, so we have no questions from people. So we're just going to discuss it. But if in the meantime, while you're watching on Facebook, some questions come to your mind and you want to ask them, put them in the comments section, and we'll keep track of that.
As long as they're easy and I know the answer. If I don't know the answer, don't ask the question.
And we are trying to promote the tour, which is free to you all. So Lewis might not give you the full answer because you just got to come out to the tour to see the answer.
Can I say this before we get started and
Sure.
I forget?
Yeah.
We will be... If you look at the Park Service map, the road we're on is Howard Avenue. So there's an eastern portion, which includes BARLOW'S Knoll, and then there's a western portion. We will be on that western portion. That's where we'll park along there.
Between the Mummersburg Road and the Carlisle Road.
Exactly, yes.
Yes. And we got to be careful, though. You got to park where it's legal.
Yeah, park where it's legal.
It's like this precarious little dance you have to do because there are signs that say, don't park on grass or on pavement only. And then sometimes there's not enough room to park on the pavement only. And so you got to be careful. Just, don't create an obstacle. Don't park facing the wrong way. It's a two-way road. We had somebody do this on our first tour last year, and it still aggravates me when I think about this.
Yeah, I missed all that.
Yeah. Parked the wrong way. Everybody else was facing the right way, and he had to go the wrong way. It was a one-way road, and he had to go the wrong way in order to park this way.
Because if you mess it up, and then the Park Service gets finicky and says, "Y'all can't be doing this stuff anymore,"
Yeah,
We all lose.
And it's over.
Yep.
Like really be careful because we're like on a razor's edge of this all ending. So
We're on the tip. There's
some
beer.
shaking up going on around here. So please be respectful, pay attention to the rules and laws, and frankly, if you can carpool, that'd be better because it's fewer cars that would be on the battlefield. So if you have a couple of buddies and you get into town a little ahead of time, carpool. Leave the car somewhere where it's okay to leave it, and then drive out there. So yeah, that's what we're going to do.
The other thing is, unlike the previous tour on Culp's Hill, if it's a sunny day, we're going to be out in the sun. So bring sunscreen.
Yeah.
We're going to probably walk more than we did.
Oh, sure.
Although it won't be as hilly, of course. But like I said, that was the first thing that came to my mind. It'll be out in the open. And if it's a sunny day, bring sunscreen.
Yeah. Good point. It's wide open there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the weather is warming up, and I expect
is.
in a couple of weeks it'll be perfect, beautiful, warm weather.
Yep.
Okay, so Lewis, tell us a little bit about what the focus of this tour is going to be.
The focus is going to be on what was known as Schimmelfennig's brigade. Of course, he's not in charge of the brigade because of things that happened. We talked a little bit about on the last tour how the leadership all moves up because you've got this wing that's created, and Howard takes charge of the 2 Corps on the first day.
Right.
And so then somebody's got to be in charge of the 11 Corps. Everything moves up.
Right.
Something similar happens with what we're going to be talking about, but it was listed as Schimmelfennig's brigade. And instead of focusing on all the regiments, I picked 3 of them: the 45th New York, 157th New York, and 80 Deuces on the Loose, Illinois. Not the airborne. And I picked them, the 82nd Illinois, because they're full of immigrants. And we always talk about the Irish. Everybody's in love with the Irish. I guess they like potato salad or something. But they don't really, other than saying those damn Dutch retreat all the time, that's what we talk about. Yeah. And they're not even Dutch. So I picked them because they have some interesting stories, and they're an immigrant regiment. In the background, I can't wait for this. I'm going to have giant speakers playing the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. It's going to be fantastic. I actually just made that up. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But
that would not go over well.
No, that'll be worse than the parking problem.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, we're worried about the parking problem, and you're going to be blasting Zeppelin.
But they've got interesting stories. And when you mentioned the first day about casualty rates, everybody drifts over to McPherson's Ridge with North Carolina going against Michigan. But the 157th suffered, I think it was like 75% casualties. Now, a lot of those are captured. They're casualties nonetheless.
Right.
They're not fighting
It's
anymore.
not as dramatic, though, when they're captured.
No.
Because they could theoretically come back.
But that's true.
They could theoretically live and survive the war.
Or go to Andersonville and die because they poop too much.
Right.
Yeah.
But they could do that in the Army, too.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but what they do, particularly the 157th and the 45th, and, they're all going to retreat through the town, but they they act as roadblocks against the Confederates, and that allows a lot of their fellow soldiers to escape to Cemetery Hill. So they sacrifice a lot. And when they get in town, I think I was listening to your homeless question episode with Jim Pangburn, and he mentions, I think he was talking about the 45th, how they're in town and they're trapped, and the Captain Ersch doesn't want to surrender, but then the Confederates come to him and say, y'all are surrounded. I tell you what, we'll bring you out here and show you how badly you're surrounded, and then you'll believe us. And that's what they bring out Captain Ersch, and he says, yeah, it's hopeless, we'll surrender. But and then they want to parole him. He doesn't accept the parole, though, because he knows he's going to be a hindrance to the Confederates. They've got to have a guard on him and get him back down south, wherever they're going to, whichever prison camp. So we'll talk about them. And then on the flip side, who they're fighting against Dole's brigade. So we'll talk about them also, and how the land plays into it.
Yeah, and we really don't you don't hear a lot about what went on with Schimmelfennig's brigade. You hear mostly
Barlow's
what's
Knoll.
going on Barlow's Knoll or on their left over with Rhodes's division and stuff.
Yep.
Versus the First Corps unit. So it's this is interesting. I'm looking forward to this because I've never really. I mean, Bob and I went out there. We went for a bike ride one time, and we went out. He showed me a couple of things, but I never really did a lot of exploring there.
Yeah, and that's nobody talks about the 82nd Illinois. You just never go out there.
No,
I've been out there a couple times with guests because they're from Chicago or something. But ordinarily, you don't even mention them. So I try to pick stuff that. It's off the beaten path while this is in plain sight. You drive right by it.
Yeah.
And you don't talk about it.
Yeah,
so.
it's almost treated like it's a through street.
Yeah. And there's some monuments or markers, I should say. They're not monuments, they're markers to the 45th New York I hope we can walk to. And that you got to get out of the car.
Is that the advanced marker?
There's that one.
Yeah. But where the dealership used to be?
There's one up by McLean's bar.
Right.
And then there's one off to the side of the road. The 157th has two markers.
157th, that's what I'm thinking of. That's the one that's right on the Carlisle Road further up.
Yeah. They got one further back, though.
Yes.
And why do they have two? Come out and find out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was going to answer that. All right. So how long of a walk do you think that we're going to have here for the people that are concerned about mileage and all that?
Mileage, I don't know.
Maybe a mile? Maybe?
Say 2 miles at most.
Let's say at the most.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Back
out
and forth.
Back. Yeah. But it won't be hills like we experienced.
Very flat.
Although that was fairly short walk we did. It just had the steep hill.
It had the hill. Will we get to Barlow's Knoll for anything?
No.
Okay, so we're not going out to Barlow's Knoll. We're not going that far. So it doesn't make sense to park at Barlow's Knoll.
We will be in between the Mummasburg and the Carlisle Road. We're going to
focus in that little area.
Yeah.
So that's certainly not a mile.
If they had to go across and park on that side of Howard Avenue, park right there on the end, close to the Carlisle Road, and just walk across.
Right.
Yeah.
Will we be out in the fields at all? Will people need to wear higher boots or something?
I would, yes.
Okay.
I don't know what the grass is going to be like then.
Right.
You can cut through that field. They've got that nice avenue with the fences.
Yes.
So we'll walk that.
The mode that goes to the McLean farm. You're talking. That'd be great. I've never done that.
I don't know why they did that. I don't think it was always like that.
I don't remember it always being that way.
I think there was a point in time where I came up here before I was a guy just wandering around, and I used to just go wherever I felt like it without worrying of getting in trouble, like sneaking into barns and stuff. Yeah. I didn't say that. But I remember walking through that field, and that path wasn't there with the two fences.
No. I think they just put that in.
It's pretty neat.
Within the last 5 years or so.
I think you're right because when I left here in 2010, I don't recall that being there.
But we're going to walk that.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So
we're going to go out to the McLean farm all the way, or just
out
part
to
of the
marker.
way? Out to the marker.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're out there. Might as well go see.
Might as well go. Yeah. Okay. So make sure that you got the proper clothing and shoes for going out into the field. Of course, water, sunscreen, all that jazz. I'm excited about this one here because this is it's going to be new. A lot of new stuff for me.
I get excited about all of them once I get into them.
Yeah.
I do a lot. I think I mentioned this before. It's like homework.
Yeah.
I do a lot of all my free time gets spent working on these tours because I'm trying to dig up stuff. I don't want to get anything from a book, like a Font's book or something like that. They've already they've done that, and that's their story. I don't want to regurgitate their story. So I go looking for diaries and newspaper articles and stuff like that, and it just some units and people are easier to find than others. With the 82nd Illinois, they all write in German. So I've had this problem.
You don't speak German?
No. Trying to do translations, and you can throw it in the Google thing, but it doesn't all come across. So I've got to sort of, I wonder what they mean here, and I got to try to figure out words.
Plus, it's 19th century German.
Exactly.
I can help you out with that, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
yeah. I have a line on a person whose sole course of study was on Old German.
Well, I've got
mid-19th century.
That's funny. I met a guy out here, Matt Houston. His friend, he brought his friend by when he was recording with us, and Charlie Fennell had dropped off a bunch of old books that he had to get rid of. Excuse me. And as I'm going, I said to the guys, I'm like, all right, let me go through these first since he gave them to me, and then I'll let you guys, go through. Hold on.
You're not going to die on us, are you?
No, I got like a tickle in my throat.
We'll forget about the porta potty guy and start talking about you.
Coughed himself
God,
to death.
I hope not. Then I'd have to take over.
Yes,
That'd be
yes.
awful.
Yes, it would be Eric now.
Ugh.
Anyway, he...
Hello, exactly.
So he tells me, his friend says, "Oh, that's okay. I probably wouldn't want any anyway. I'm into antique German books."
Wow.
And I said, "That's really odd." So as I'm going through, I'm picking books out that I want and, whatever. And sure enough, there is an antique German book.
Wow.
And I say, "Hey, kid." And I throw it to him like that football player did in the Sprite commercial or whatever that was. What was that for?
It was a Coke commercial.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green, that's right. And then the book hit him in the face.
He said, "Thanks, Mean Joe."
And he took it with him because I had no use for that.
Yeah.
So,
I got a letter. I had to write to the Historical Society of Missouri for a copy of this letter written by a fellow that was with the 82nd Illinois. He wrote it to his parents on July 9th. And so they send it to me. And they say, "Well, here's what you asked for, but it's in German." And I was like, "Yeah. But, half the battle's getting it, and I got it, so we'll figure out the rest." And I've since figured it out. But
so
that's
you figured out the German?
Yeah, I had seen pieces of the letter before that's already translated, and so
Gotcha.
I used that and expanded what different shapes meant for letters and stuff like that.
Okay.
It took a while, but I've got it translated. But then he sent me some other stuff that I'm not going to talk about now. I'll talk about on the 15th, along with this letter that were correspondence between him and the quartermaster department, this fellow in the quartermaster. He was an officer. So just interesting stuff I've been able to get.
Gosh.
But that's what I do. Back to the point. I try to get first person accounts of stuff, letters, newspaper articles, and stuff like that. It's just different. That when somebody's writing a history book, if it's like Sears, it's just a broad history. You're telling a story, but you're going to leave out a lot of this stuff.
Sure,
because you got to keep the train moving.
Sure, there's a million of these.
But on
stories.
these, this is what I like about these tours we do. They're very specific, and it allots me time to sit there and share these personal stories from individuals that you don't necessarily see anywhere else.
And I think that's what the people seem to like about it. Is what they tell me is that it's like a very specific, like you're saying, a very specific history of a different area or something that they don't often read about or never go to. Like I'm saying, like I don't go to. I don't think I've ever, except for that one time with the bike ride with Bob, I don't think I've ever gotten out of my car on Howard Avenue. I just use it to get from one place to another, And it's too bad because there's a story there, and we're going to find out what that story is.
A lot of times on regular old tours, say you do a 3-hour car tour, you'll end up on Oak Hill. You're pointing to Howard Avenue. You're not going to take the guests down there. You'll talk about Howard moving out. That's where their line is because you can see the silhouette of the monuments, and they're going to fall back.
Yeah.
But you really don't. You talk about the action as a whole rather than the individual regiments, which we'll highlight.
Let's see. We've got a couple. Those of you watching on Facebook, if you have some questions, put them in the comment section, as it says.
Hold on. Let me practice for the questions. I don't know. No, I really don't know. Yeah, I don't.
That's a great question. Well, let's see. Chuck Critchfield says, I discovered Coster Avenue a couple of years ago. Is this the area of the Brickyard?
Yes. Not the area we're going to.
Right, we're not going
It has
there.
the big mural up there by Mark Dunkelman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a neat place, too.
Now, aren't there two Brickyards? there's the Coster Avenue Brickyard, and isn't there one that is closer to Cemetery Hill?
Yeah, it's.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's Brickyard Avenue.
Brickyard,
Yeah.
But
lane.
it runs across,
right? Or alley?
yeah, Brickyard Lane.
Yeah.
And it runs across the base of East Cemetery Hill.
Yeah. And was there
Wainwright Avenue now.
another big fight there too, or is it just named that and people confuse it? I'm confused as to what my confusion is right now, so I can't really ask a proper question.
There was. You'd have to talk to Tim Smith about that more. I know he covers that on some of his walking tours in town, the ones that he does from the Farnsworth House.
On Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
Is he doing them again this year?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to him about it.
I'll have to ask. He hasn't mentioned it. Mike Lentz also says, Lewis speaking my language, more 42nd Illinois.
82nd.
I'm sorry. Why did I say 42nd?
80 deuces on the loose.
You know, you get me up before 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm done by noon. We're not even at noon. More 82nd Illinois. I'm like Christopher Walken with more cowbell, but instead more 82nd Illinois. I got a fever.
And that's it. We both have fevers.
Oh, exactly.
There it is.
Yeah. Matt Sheeds, wasn't there a brickyard / kiln on York Road as well?
That I don't know.
Maybe.
Brickyard kiln on York Road. I don't remember hearing anything.
I don't know why he does this either.
Is this late night Delilah voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I have a song. I have a special request for my Delilah. Hi, lovers.
Let's talk about a brickyard.
Let's talk about a brickyard on the York Road. This is where Tommy and Matthew fell in love. Hot. There's a kiln
Here's
at that brickyard.
Celine Dion.
Here's Celine Dion with Because You Love Me. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of a brickyard or a kiln. But you know what? I mean, why wouldn't there be? There'd be more than one, right?
Yeah, there very well might have been. Not one involved in the battle that I'm aware of.
Right. Well, I don't think York Road.
Sure.
Meh.
I mean,
or
the one
maybe
on
he's
Coster
thinking
Avenue
of Coster Avenue.
is well known because of what happened
Yeah,
there.
right.
It depends on what happened in your area.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's a big
there
painting on the wall.
There could totally be other brickyards in town that just didn't get the distinguished. I'm just my sentence ends right there.
There we go.
So up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow,
thing.
yeah.
I know. He's still complaining about that too. But guess who has a dryer in their basement now?
I do.
Yeah.
Because of that. Yes.
Because you got up 6 o'clock this morning.
Well, Bill, I got the dryer and it wasn't the right receptacle. And so Eric's like, well, I got the right one at home. And he's a little more confident with doing electrical work than I am. And so he came over and he changed the outlet out.
Wow.
And just all before coming here to meet you, Lewis. And it was, we also went out to the electrical supply store. So, I mean, we got a lot done. I'm going to tell you that.
I took Matt to the man store this morning.
Yes, we went to the man store and they were talking about man things. Yeah. I said, give me a pair of screwdrivers.
I want a resistor.
Yeah. Right. All right. So then, okay, let's do this. The May 15th, 10 a.m. Get there earlier than 10 a.m. A lot of people don't understand. When you say the tour starts at 10, they show up right at 10 and they go, oh, I'm late? I thought it starts at 10. And yeah, it does.
Yeah, it starts at 10.
It starts at 10, so get there early.
At 10 o'clock.
It starts at 10 o'clock. And we are very, what's the word? On time. Punctual. Thank you. We are very punctual.
The Army trains you to hate lateness. I despise lateness.
I used to get beaten in Catholic school for being late. So,
when it's time to start, you got to start.
Yeah, exactly. So get there 9:30. I usually go there around 9 because, you got to get there first.
It's 2 hours. And Mason-Dixon Distillery sponsors this, so we go to lunch.
I actually, this one might be the Farnsworth House.
Oh, they're sponsoring.
Yes.
So we're going there for lunch.
We will be going there for lunch.
Yeah, I like that place. I haven't been there in a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just have to finalize everything with Libby.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
We've been talking about that. Yeah, that's why I didn't say it in the beginning because it's nothing's finalized yet. But I'll put
Mason-Dixon Distillery is a great place to eat too.
It is. You can go there for dinner.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh no, Mason-Dixon's great. They're going to be doing June, July, and October.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we will have them again.
Very good. Hope it works out for them.
Yeah.
People going there.
Oh yeah, people. Last time. I mean, we had 50 people last time, which was way more than I thought. And then about 36 of them came back to Mason-Dixon, which is way more than I thought for that.
I spent all the money I got paid on the tour.
Well, good.
It was a net zero day.
But at least you had a good time.
I did. It was fun. And it was good food. So
yeah, and we do have a good time. We learn. There's a little bit of laughter every once in a while, like if somebody trips, and you really should come out. And for those of you who are not particular, like Matt Sheeds, for example, I know he was watching at one point today, and he grew up here. His grandfather was Colonel Sheeds. He like casually knows some history and stuff, but I'll bet you that Matt's never really done a tour of the battlefield, and if he did, it probably wasn't very specific or anything like that, like what we're going to do. So that would be something for Matt to come out and learn about the town and the area that he grew up in and the big battle that happened here. So drag some friends along, come on out to the tour May 15th. Remember, park where legal, wear the proper shoes for going out into the field, and sunscreen if it's sunny, bug spray, rain gear if it's rainy. I mean, we go rain or shine, ladies and gentlemen.
If it ain't raining, we ain't training.
Exactly.
Just like today.
History did not pause because of the rain, always. It rained during the battle, right. And they just sat in the rain. So it's the least we can do to do that as we learn about their story, and you will just learn to love it. And if you don't, then
you'll cry.
You'll cry, yeah. And we'll make fun of you.
It'll be okay. Nobody will know you're crying because it's raining.
Exactly.
Andy Hunt wants to know how many we can reasonably accommodate.
Well, it's a pretty large field.
Yeah.
A couple thousand.
Yeah.
Realistically, we haven't hit an unmanageable number yet. We had 66 last October. We had 50 in April. You just come. And by the way, if you go to addressinggettysburg.com and you go to the menus up on top, there's a drop down for get out of the car tours. Somewhere. Where is it? Where's the calendar to book? You don't actually have to do this, ladies and gentlemen, but it helps us to just get a kind of a head count.
It's on the oh my God, what the hell's the name of the tab? Hang
website?
On. Yeah, I know.
The Book a Tour tab. Book a Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
What a name for a tab.
Yes.
That works out swell.
There we go. So Book a Tour, you go to the Book a Tour tab. There's a big calendar there. You go to May 15th, and it says hashtag Get Out of the Car Tour. You go on and you book. Maybe we should show people this sometime on the video.
What was the difference in people booked than actual showed up for the last tour? Do you know?
Well, I think booked we had 41.
So it was close.
It was close. Yeah. I think people, wait till the last minute. They're not sure. They'd like to go and they think they'll go.
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah, life gets in the way. More times than not, life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Life is just one big obstacle.
Always in the way.
Always in the damn way. But anyway, you go and do that. It's free. It's always free. This year, it's free. And you go, you sign up. You're just giving us a head count. You're giving us an idea of what to expect. My guess is that April was pretty good because it was the first one. Everybody's itching to get out of the house. I think I'm going to predict a dip for May.
I can see that, yeah.
Nope. And I think I'm going to no dip?
No dips and chips.
I don't know. You think you're going for another Dan Butterfield?
I am, yeah.
I think I might get the Dan Butterfield this time.
I don't think so.
I think we're going to see a dip. Not a huge one, mind you, but a dip. Then we're going to see a spike in June, dip in July. Not a spike as a record, but it will go up again in August, up again in September. October will be another big one.
I'm just going based off the Facebook event responses. We're going to have an increase.
Well, what were the responses last month?
51.
51. Mm-hmm. And 50 showed up.
Yes.
How many responses do you have this?
67.
Oh.
And 66 will show
really,
up.
It's just a matter of how
like 50,
loud I can talk.
55-ish.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Well, now that's going to be different because now we're out in the field, not in the woods. Well, we've done fields before.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, what was your favorite tour of last year?
Probably the last one.
Yeah, that was a good one. The whole event, I mean, it was a bigger group.
Yeah, and it just flowed in my mind easier for whatever reasons.
You feel like you hit your stride?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started off, it was new.
Yeah. Figuring out.
I'll be honest, when we did the 40th New York Devil's Den stuff, that was the first group tour I had ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that was the first time you had more than like a handful of people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Other than
were you scared?
Amateur stuff in the Army, where my unit came up here from Fort Bragg, and I was
you got the task.
Well, I was encouraging us to do it.
Okay.
Because I knew we could do it. I said, y'all just get the unit up here, and I'll handle the rest. You know, y'all take care of where you're going to stay and all this other nonsense, and I'll take care of the rest. Which is interesting. I flew in from Fort Huachuca that Friday.
God bless you.
And then Saturday was the tour. So I had just flown in from Arizona. But I wasn't a guide then, and I'm just going around. I knew enough stuff and taken other little groups around on my own to give a tour to a big group. But they all knew me and stuff.
Right, so you didn't feel...
Your tours last year were the first time I gave group tours to strangers. And it worked out well, I thought.
Were you afraid they were going to throw tomatoes at you? Or
I'm never afraid of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be afraid anymore.
Too old to be afraid. You
I know
live
death
too
is
long.
haunting me. It's right there.
It's right around every corner.
The shadows following me wherever I go.
Lewis.
That's why I stay out of porta potties on windy days.
That poor guy.
Yeah, he's poor. But I think that last one was really good. It just flowed the way we were going from point A to point B, and I had all my stories together. And a lot of times, it's I found out it's what type of stories I'm finding in newspaper articles and stuff. Some of them are more interesting than others, and when I find an interesting one, I get pretty excited about it. You know, itching to share it with other people.
Yeah.
So,
so which one are you looking forward to most this year?
I can't say that I'm looking forward to any one versus another one. Once we laid out the ones we were going to do, I started looking forward to that first one.
So you look forward to each one as it's coming up. Yeah. I'm
looking forward to East Cavalry Field.
Yes.
Because that'll be definitely something different.
That would be different. And then I'm looking forward to Little Round Top because, you go to the top, a Little Round Top, and you get a general type of thing. I normally don't get right into the nitty gritty.
I do it on bike tours.
Yeah.
I take because we're riding a bike up that thing. I take it in 2 stages. I come up to the base of it, the southern base of it, and there's 2 pull-offs there on the road.
Right.
And I pull off so I can catch my breath. But I'll start talking there. I said, look up there. The Southerners are going up this hill. This is where they're going. Usually when people visit there, they drive to the top and look down. You're not in that saddle between the 2 round tops looking up at Little Round Top.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was there, and I was like, this would be a great time to do it because it's all burned.
Yes.
You could see the paths.
Yes. And
I was like, man, I hope this stuff doesn't grow back too quick. But that'll be fun also, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to go to the 20th Main Monument first and then kind of walk up that path, especially on a bike tour. But I'm just looking forward to doing that. It's not that I haven't done that before. It's been so many years since I've done that it would be nice to just do it again.
But they're all fun, and the people I meet are great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like the lunch afterwards, to sit and talk to individuals.
Oh, our people you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant generalized or general tours. Our people are pretty cool. And that's I take that as a compliment, how cool they are, because that means that, birds of a feather and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Right? They're very nice, friendly, helpful. And, They appreciate what you do. They're interested. They're interesting.
Yeah,
and they're happy to contribute and tip you and because I know everybody likes tips.
They're very generous people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you take a bunch of them and everybody gives a little.
Yeah, it ends up to be a lot.
And that makes me work a little bit harder next time. You know? Not that I would slack off, but I think people come to expect something, a certain level of tourism or whatever, storytelling.
Yeah.
And so I keep looking.
Yeah, I don't really work very hard on these.
You don't say.
So, yeah, it's just pretty much figure out what date it's going to be, and that's it.
Well, once we nail down what the topic's going to be, and that's a little bit of work too, trying to figure out to do something different.
Yeah.
And then that's when it begins, and I just start looking for stuff. And sometimes I'll find stuff for a future tour while I'm working on a current tour, and I'll just tuck it aside. Remember to bring it back out. And
yeah.
I've done that a few times.
It's going to be an interesting day for me because my sister, I've been here for 3 years. Mm-hmm. My sister has refused to come and visit all 3 years.
Where does she live?
With the kids, back in Jersey.
Okay.
And finally she says, we're coming down. And my neighbor and her family want to come too. And I'm like, great. And then her in-laws want to come too. And now it's like a whole 30 people. Of course, do you think any of them have any interest in going on a tour? No. And so I said, she's like, well, I've got a tour that morning, and then we go to lunch or something after that. And so, I've got some stuff to do, but that's fine. You guys can just come along. Yeah, I don't know if we really want to go on the tour. It's like, we'll do the double-decker bus. And I said, okay. I go, look. She wanted to do the double-decker bus while I was out here on the tour. And I said, what's the point of coming down? I go, why don't you come and see this, what your brother has done, right? You haven't seen this.
Before he really hits it
brother
big,
has done.
Yes, look what your brother has done. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look what he has accumulated. This vast empire. No,
Media
but
mogul.
Honestly though, 4 years ago, before I started doing this, I couldn't get 50 people to come to see me kill myself.
You didn't even have a studio.
I didn't even have a studio. Well, I had a studio, but nobody cared.
It wasn't like this.
It wasn't like. Well, it was bigger. It was much better in 1.5 million ways because it was enormous.
Well, but that, then.
You're welcome.
No. You didn't do that. That's not your fault. You did a great job. Well, you know what you did.
Keep digging that hole.
No, I'm not digging it. You know what you did. And that's not what I was saying. But anyway, yeah. No, she's like, I don't really want to walk around. And I said, okay. I go, well, look, maybe the guys would want to do it. I said, you have no interest in it? Okay, fine. Maybe my brother-in-law, who is somewhat interested in, things, maybe it would be good to expose my nephew to this so that he might develop an interest in something other than Fortnite.
Oh, Lord.
These little things that would make someone a whole human being. And I said, so maybe you want to just, I'll go on the bus tour with you guys after my tour, so that we could do it all together, and then, but you can also
spending time for the visit.
Yeah, spending time for the visit, and don't make the men sit at the pool with you because you don't want to come and do this. I hope it rains for that reason. But anyway, so I've got a packed day that day, and I'll probably go to the Farnsworth for just a little bit, and then have to leave after that. So we'll do all the autographs in the beginning.
Definitely.
As opposed to the end, what we normally do.
Media interviews and stuff.
All right, stop.
Are we done now?
No, I was just waiting for the people to stop laughing at me.
Indeed.
Okay, so
You ever wonder about those things?
Why they were laughing at me for so long?
They use a laugh track on shows. Where does the laughter come from? Is it from another show that they?
I actually have wondered that because some of them sound like genuine laughs, and then other ones sound like
contrived
crap.
Yeah,
right. So do they actually go to like in the old days? Did they go to a Don Rickles show and just record the audience who would be hysterical, and then they put it on? I don't know. Happy Days or whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers. Get out of the city. Ha 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 ha. Every time he'd say his stupid little, what was it? Get out of the city. And what was the other one?
I don't
Don't be ridiculous. Wasn't that Perfect Strangers?
I don't remember, man. Like, I was a child when that was out.
It's a hideous show.
Like a legitimate child.
It was awful. Oh, man. Or like Urkel.
I just remember there was like some vaguely Greek dude who was living with his cousin in an apartment somewhere.
Yeah, from Mypos. Was it Mypos?
Something like that.
Mykonos? No, not Mykonos. That's a real place.
I think it was Meatballs.
It was Mypos, right?
Yeah, it was totally made up.
Yeah, totally made up.
Something about goat farming or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
11th Corps.
Yeah, the 11th Corps is the tour that we're doing on May 15th. This was a little bit of a different type of promotional show for it. It's not quite an Ask a Guide because we didn't have a lot of questions for them, but that's okay because you're going to bring your questions to the tour with you, and we're going to have a really good time all summer long, all fall, all spring, all summer, all fall, the whole rest of the season, the good months of the year. We're going to be out and about, getting out of the car and learning about our history and visiting our battlefield, our national park here at Gettysburg. So I hope you do join us. It's free. Take advantage of that. Okay? Take advantage of that while it lasts. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Just in case. I don't know. It's not my choice if it becomes something that we have to charge for. Other than that,
You think you'd have to do that?
I don't know what to think anymore.
That's true. I'm with you there.
Okay, I'm as terrified as everybody else around here. Okay, pins and needles.
Yeah. And, we talked about this a little bit before on the phone. It is, this is another thing I like about these tours, especially this year probably, that we're not talking about monuments. We are, but we're not talking about those monuments. The narrative is different than what people that don't know anything about this place
want to put on it.
Yeah. We're out here talking about the lives of these people and what they did here.
Yeah.
And the history of it rather than, oh my God.
Yeah. We don't mix modern politics into this stuff.
And so we keep people's stories going. And if the guide force doesn't do it or the Park Service doesn't do it, it's going to die one day. So
yeah, Nepos, Bill. It was Nepos with an N, not Mepos with an M.
It was stupid with
it. It was
S.
whatever it was.
That's what it was. Because I remember it. Like, what is that?
Oh, that was good. Cody, actually, we just had another question come in. Cody Reinhardt asked, what about the 20th Indiana?
What about them?
Yeah, what about them? What do you want to know about them?
Yeah.
They were a thing.
They were a thing. Were they in the 11th Corps?
The 20th Indiana?
20th Indiana. I'm having a feeling they weren't.
Got the 27th. 7th.
I have a feeling they were down in Rose's Woods.
Yeah, I don't.
And I have a feeling that was 3rd Corps, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, their monument is right. Can you stop now?
Oh,
okay.
It's by
It's right there
near Devil's Den.
Yeah,
Not
near
at Devil's
the
Den.
5th New Hampshire monument.
Yeah,
like
where the
at
road
corner.
fees. Yeah, exactly. And they got the rock there where their colonel dies. That used to be painted. The Wheeler Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes me a while sometimes.
That's the 20th Indiana.
Yeah.
That used to be painted?
Yeah. It
I
said
didn't know that.
Wheeler Rock on it. There's old pictures of it. And I imagine I think the veterans came back and painted that. It might have been when they put the monument up or something.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with you?
I'm reading Travis Bennett's comment to you.
I don't see one.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
Oh boy, those of you who are listening only on the podcast feed are really missing out when you don't watch these live on Facebook. Because Eric, I don't even know if I should. I don't want to read the last line.
Yeah, no, definitely don't.
Okay, well, that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Okay, folks, listen. This is the third ending attempt I've done, but I'm really going to do it now. We're really going to end it because we've got so much to do today.
Then things are really getting weird.
Yeah, and things are also getting weird with the listeners, but we're recording later on today over at the Spangler Farm. Eric Lewis has a tour to do, right?
Tour at 1:30. So.
He's got a tour at 1:30. I've got to get my prescriptions. I got to go to the doctor. Allergy season is in full swing, baby. Full swing. So, come on out on the 15th. See us there. It'll be fun. Next week, the Ask a Guide is with Stu Dempsey, and it is also about the 11th Corps. So this is a month of 11th Corps.
Yeah.
And so I hope that it'll get you so interested in it that you're going to come out and see us on the 15th and everything like that. Otherwise, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions. Travis Bennett, thank you for that very uncomfortable exchange there with Eric. Makes me cringe inside, and that's fantastic. So we will talk to you all.
Hopefully see you on the 15th.
And see you on the 15th. Goodbye.
Our hearts so stout have got a sting, forsooth 'tis known from whence we came. Wherever we go, they dread the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead, spa will drink down ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail from Gary Owen in glory. Instead, spa will drink down ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt shall go to jail from Gary Owen in glory.